Hi, welcome back to Bottoms Acres. Today we're going to be working on tomato plants. So this tomato, its main branch here is leaning over, and the goal is to get it up on the trellis. I plant my tomatoes kind of close together. The other one is like right through there, because I trellis them and I prune them aggressively. So I'm going to show you some of the pruning that I do. So first thing I do is go into the bottom and get all of these small leaves off and just anything that's touching the ground. That goes first. And next I start taking off kind of branches we don't need. So this is fruiting, so I'm not going to trim anything above that, right? But right here we have a main branch. That's a leaf. Main branch coming up, and then a side branch at that 90-degree angle. And then in the middle of that 90-degree angle, in the elbow, is this little sucker here. We don't need it, so I'm just going to trim it off real quick. Okay, so I'm just going to go in. I gotta switch hands, hold on. Alright. So we're just going to go in and trim this off right at the base here. Okay, without messing up the other branch. That's it, and get rid of that. And so now you have this sucker, and you can do two things with this. You can remove this bottom branch here, pinch it off, pull it off, whatever. And then you can put this in some soil or in some water, and it'll grow roots, and then plant it in soil. But I just stick mine straight in soil, and it'll grow roots, and then you have a whole new tomato plant. For me, I have enough tomato plants. Okay, they're a little crazy, so we're just gonna toss it. So, I'm gonna go do some more trimming. So this is our main stem, right? I think I'm gonna take one or both of these off. I haven't decided yet, because we don't really need them. I might take this side shoot off too. We'll see. I might just take this one and the side shoot off. Okay, so I took this second one and went ahead and attached it to the trellis so we can see what we're working with a little bit more. Now I'm going to attach this one. Just going to grab my plant, get this here like that, and attach. Well, there's a big one, attach that one around there. So 1 second. Just like that. I just clipped it on. See? So now we're up off the ground, and I can kind of see what needs spaced out more. So I'm going to take this one off. I'm going to take this side one off. I'm going to leave this side one because it's on the outside. It has more room. And then I'm going to take these inner branches off of this one. And look at that. Just by removing a couple of branches, I've seen that we actually already have some tomatoes on there that I couldn't see before. So I'm just going to make sure I don't go above that branch that they are attached to. Just stick it down here with this stuff. I went ahead and attached this cucumber on the vine to get it out of the way. Now I see that I can kind of move this one a little more this way. So I'll take it off and I'll attach it like here. Sorry, I'll take it off and I'll attach it like here. And then this one will be fine on the corner. But now I see I have a couple little baby cucumbers coming in. Let me see them. See? Cute. Okay, so that's all done now. It has a lot more room to breathe through here. I did take one off a little bit higher than the tomatoes, but it'll be fine, hopefully. See, this one I'm gonna leave even though it's all the way over here, but for now, and I like using these little clips from the dollar store, because honestly, you lose them and I'm not trying to pay a bunch of money for that. And they're just simple. I can take them off and move them around to wherever I want. Like, that's just all they are, and you just put it on your little plant like that, and it doesn't like damage the plant. Just kind of stays loose around it, so it has room to move in it. And this is the other one. Cucumber is up. Now I'm gonna work on these aromas behind me, but I'm gonna look up. Pretty sure they have blight, so I'm gonna look that up real quick before I mess with them. I might just take them out completely. Even though they already, through the netting here, already have tomatoes too. It's gonna hurt my heart if I gotta take them out, but we'll see. Okay, so I figured it out. I have to, that is blight. Let's see, that stuff. Yeah. That's blight. I have to remove those leaves, but I'm kind of worried about it because aromas are determinate tomato plants, which means they only grow to a certain height, and you don't want to trim them up. These, the San Marzano's, are indeterminate, which means they'll just keep growing up this vine. So, I guess I'm just gonna trim them off and maybe get a smaller yield, but you know, maybe the next couple of weeks I'll treat them with something. I think I've seen a copper spray works for organic gardening. I don't know, but in the meantime, I'm going to finish trimming these two San Marzano's. I have a German Johnson there, Cherokee Purple that I got to take down. And these are still pretty small, so we'll leave those. But I am going to go through and pick off all of the suckers while I'm here. That one's actually a double sucker. Just like that. This is a sucker. See, nothing's growing on it, so I'm going to pick it off before I even mess with that one, because I don't want to spread that to the rest of these. Okay, so again, here's our German Johnson. I'm going to take off this stem, because I just want like 2 main stems at the most with these guys. This isn't putting out any flowers yet, so it's getting ready to. But that's fine. It's so close to this one, and there's going to be a basil in between. Just going to go ahead and take that off. And I'm going to take off all of these suckers. And then in a little bit, we're going to get a trellis system going here. Okay, there we are, all trimmed up. This one isn't right beside another one like those are. So I'm not going to trim a whole bunch off of this. But usually, like these downward facing branches, you really don't need. They just kind of help protect sun from getting to the tomatoes. But the upward branches are usually the ones that put off the fruit. So you can see, where was it? Yeah. So now I have to do this big monstrosity. This is Cherokee Purple, but the thing is, when I planted it, I seen these 2 stems, and I was like, oh, maybe it's just like an extra stem coming out. I kind of thought it was 2 entire tomato plants, and I was like, no, it's fine. Now I'm sure it is 2 entire tomato plants, and it's just like grew and laid over, and it's just a big clustered mess now. So I don't know if I'm just going to try to really thin it out or just cut one plant off completely. I'm going to think about that one for a second, because I have one coming in over here. See? And there might be more, so I need to go look through it really well. But I'm going to start just trimming off everything that's touching the ground and the suckers and see what we can do. Okay. So that's a little better. A little less clustery. I decided to keep them both. I could probably cut this one down. I thought I saw a tomato on it somewhere. I mean, there's buds. I don't know. But this one has another tomato right there. And the stem's kind of broken, so I'm hoping that survives. And I found more tomatoes. It's amazing what thinning it out does. Found all the tomatoes. So that's the setup for now. I don't know. Cut all that off and all that off. Like half the plants. Right, so now I'm gonna go in with these zucchini plants. Zucchini and squash, and cut off these leaves that are like below the fruits to try to get a little more airflow in here and where I can actually see them and be able to trellis them better. It's like that guy's hidden under there. That's a squash bug. If you find those, you want to remove them and kill them because they will rot. Let's see, that's the one that was hiding. They will rot your plant. We don't like that. And all of the leaves are just more places for them to hide. Looks like there's 2 in there. Awesome. I went through here the other day looking for eggs, and I could have missed some, or those are just the adults. So now I get to remove those. And that is a bean beetle, not a ladybug. Ladybugs are red and have 2 little white dots on their head. That's a bean beetle. You want to remove those too. Aphids also like tomato plants. That is, move the lighter back, baby. That is what aphids look like. Stop moving. We'll zoom in. They're nasty things. One way to get rid of them is to burn them. Yeah. Burns the bugs. Doesn't really burn the leaf too bad. Just don't hold it on it till it catches on fire. But that pretty much takes care of them. Then you just stop moving. Stop moving. Then you just have a bunch of burnt bugs. So for squash, I'm gonna go and trim these. You want to start at the bottom. Everything laying on the ground, you want to get gone and kind of going up through the fruit. Just thin it out so the squash bugs don't have as many places to hide, and you can get them. So when you're trimming your leaves off, your squash and zucchini, you want to get it all the way to the stem. Like this one is solid across. You want to take it down to that. Because if you leave it, oh God, pokey. If you leave it open, like that one, that is the perfect place for a squash bug to get in and hide. So try to take it down as far as you can without cutting the actual stem. Alright. So that is about as far as I'm going to get for tonight. Just trying to get the stems off the ground, which I've already hardened up nicely, so that'll be hard for the squash bugs to get in. And I got a lot of the leaves off the ground. I want to get this one off at least, but it is in there between all those fruits. And I don't want to mess with that because I've already accidentally knocked off 1 zucchini and 1 perfectly good squash. Pretty mad about that, but it's leaning so far that way I can't really do much else right now and let the sun come out for a couple days, and hopefully all those guys will straighten up, and then I can start putting the actual stem up on the trellis a little more. So everything is trellised on this little section right now, and I think I'm gonna call it a night. It is the next morning, but I just wanted to show y'all that we did like a Florida weave situation for these tomatoes. And over there. And our lily opened. Look how beautiful.